You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top 1% ranked real estate team. So to break that down, there's 25,000 realtors in Tampa Bay, and we are in the top 1%. So we're in the top 250 agents here in Tampa Bay. So we aim to help you sell faster for more money. We're going to help you on the buy side. Right now, it's a lot of multiple offer, competitive bid situations. You got a lot of distractions out there also with these iBuyer programs, hedge funds buying real estate. But we're going to guide you. We're going to help you win, as we say, in any marketplace. Hit us up at 813-750-0550. Anything that you hear about on the show, you can send a message or a text or drop a voicemail, 813-750-0550. Call or text that line. ConsumerQB.com is the website as well. And we got some hot property listings here in Tampa Bay. Check out this gas station available, 4449 Grand Boulevard in Newport Richey. This is a gas station. Also could be some type of a coffee shop, drive-through, convenience store drive-through. Great location, priced in the mid-200s too. It's only $250,000 roughly asking price. 4449 Grand Boulevard is a gas station that we have available right here in Tampa Bay. Also, 12500 Hamlin Road. Check out this listing, 41 acres. Prime land developed or ready to be developed in Pasco County. 12500 Hamlin Road, Spring Hill, 41 acres, zoned agricultural. Great opportunity right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Getting more and more calls every day now from builder developers looking to build and buy land and rezone it, get it ready to go. So see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we're going to go back to John Long now. John is representing, he's the Executive Director, United States Institute Against Human Trafficking. And John, when we talk about this too, kind of pre-show, we're talking, I've seen different things with Tony Robbins, big fan of Tony's. I've been to a lot of his events, and Tony Robbins getting involved. I think it really helps a lot when you get celebrities throwing their star power, their networks into these things, and also former, retired FBI, CIA folks getting involved and kind of, running these types of counter, not terrorism, but counter trafficking, missions. It seems like that's a good combination.
Sure. Anytime that you can get the spotlight on this conversation is a success. And so we use different avenues. Again, our co-founder is Kevin Malone, who's a retired Major League Baseball manager for multiple teams throughout his career. And he had this passion for fighting this trafficking, and through his passion and through his connections, we've had multiple different people that get involved, and it's great. And again, anytime that spotlight is shine on this conversation, but we also know that our neighbor can be just as effective in fighting human trafficking. You don't have to be a celebrity, you don't have to be of great wealth, but it's just us as a community against the grassroots movement of fighting the trafficking within our sphere of influence and making people aware of what's happening in our backyards.
Yeah, it's a big point. Is anybody can help. Any dollar amount would help. USIAHT.org, and some of the biggest stories that you see too are like the Jeffrey Epstein. Like you look at that, you look at the Netflix and all the different publicity that story got. And then, of course, it kind of leads to the social media rumors of, oh, he wasn't killed, he's not dead, he's, they're planning some big sting, and then you get the QAnon type stuff going on online. So it's really kind of disinformation. Where's the best information? And then it gets into that type of a grassroots, like how can we actually make a difference?
Yeah, that the Epstein definitely made a lot of conversations happen. And if they're true, if they're not, I'm not here to figure that out. Our organization is here to fight what's really happening, and that's men and women and kids being sold for sex. And again, our trafficking free zone is something that anybody within our community can do. Anyone who owns a business can do it, and it's not something we say just go figure it out, but we provide the training. The training is only a 30-minute training. It's on our website. There's a proclamation that's on our website that you can sign as an individual or an organization. And one of the other things we do is we help human resource departments write a policy change that says we won't allow our employees to engage in buying sex. Because we know that the typical person, and it's typically a man, so the typical man who's buying sex is typically setting up their dates between 2 and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. And before, we were all working mobile and working from home, people were doing this while they were at work, at their work computer, on their cell phone. And so we encourage HR departments within their organizations to write this policy to say, we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to allow this to happen, and really fight this demand within their own organization.
Wow, that's interesting. So they're setting up the actual dates between 2 and 4.
Between 2 and 4, and it's Monday through Friday. And
wow.
We knew that was happening while people were still working in an office, and now that most people, or a lot of people, are working from home, it's scary to think about now how much that's happening or what's happening, because there's a lack of supervision. People have a lot more freedom. And so we are nervous that trafficking is going to escalate as people lose that fear of getting caught because they are working from home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for bringing this all to light, John. Support John Long, Executive Director, USIAHT.org. Go to the website, support, get involved. And thanks again, John. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing some light to this subject.
Yeah, my pleasure. Keep up the good work, and stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, we're going to have Tracy McGraven in studio here. He's a home health administrator, Gulfside. Check out Gulfside Healthcare Services online, gulfside.org, and we'll be right back after this short break. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page, as well as Brandon Rhymes PA on Facebook. We'll be right back.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
John's going to set up the wide angle now. He's going to set up the wide angle camera here.
Okay.
All right, so
Tracy, if you can hear me, can you give me a quick mic check from 5 to 1, please?
Yep.
So, mic check.
Just count from 5 to 1, please.
Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
The alphabet backwards.
All right, everyone, please stand by.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Giving a shout out now to Replenish IV Solutions. I just came up from South Tampa, Gandy Boulevard. I was down there visiting Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. I got hooked up with the vitamin infusion drip. So I'm dropping these vitamins, minerals, electrolytes right into my bloodstream, boosting my immunity, feeling good. And they can also come to your home or office. So you don't have to go to the Gandy location, the Carrollwood location, or the Wesley Chapel location. You can actually call them up and get set up with a nurse to come directly to you at your home or work. Replenish IB Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got some hot listings here in Tampa Bay. A couple of real estate properties available. 6513 South County Line Road. This is out in Plant City, out in East Hillsborough County. You got 5 acres of land out here, and it's on a natural spring as well. So you've got a creek in the back, natural spring located on the property, 5 acres available, and you can put 2 structures on it. Put a home and maybe some type of a industrial type of building, large building, commercial type of building here at 6513 South County Line Road in Plant City. One of our vacant land listings. By the way, we've got about a dozen or so other vacant land parcels available. So if you're looking to build, and maybe you're a builder, developer, or maybe just an investor. By the way, one of the best ways to hedge from inflation is to invest in land. Put your money in land rather than, keeping it in the U.S. dollar, which we know what the Federal Reserve is doing with that. They're printing a lot of money and watering down our money supply so they can bail out, certain entities and states. So great opportunities here in Tampa Bay. See all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we have Tracy McGraven in studio. Welcome in, Tracy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Gulfside Healthcare Services in the house, and you are a home health administrator at Gulfside. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So what's a home health administrator do?
A home health administrator, we oversee the overall care of the patient and make sure regulatory requirements, budget, all that good stuff is taken care of so that we can make sure that we're taking care of that next patient. Got it.
So helping folks. And there's 3 different, what do you call it, business streams, 3 services. You got hospice, home health, and palliative care.
Right. So our home health actually came about a year and a half ago. We started this because we wanted to be able to offer a full line of services to the patients at home. Started out as a hospice agency over 35 years ago, taking care of terminally ill patients. Palliative is we manage patients that need symptom control. Say they have cancer, they're going to chemotherapy, but they're having a lot of pain, nausea, things like that. That line of service takes care of that. And then, of course, our home health, skilled home health, patients that may need some therapy, they've had a fall, they need to get back to their previous functioning level, need some extra education, wound care, things like that.
Yeah. And this could be in replace of someone having to go to a nursing home. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is something that's kind of touching me right now. Is my grandma, Granny Evelyn. She's at that point where she's got to be in a nursing home, and she has some medical issues that's keeping her there, and it's just tough. You call her up, and she doesn't want to be there, but it's the family can't dedicate that as as a full-time job. I mean, when you're taking care of these patients, sometimes.
Right. It can be difficult, and that's one of the things we take into factor is how's it affecting the family, because being a caregiver is very difficult.
Right.
You've got to rearrange your life to take care of that, not to mention what's going on, which you normally would have to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and a lot of times, unfortunately, it falls on that same person in the family each time,
right,
time after time.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see that quite a bit. Caregiver breakdown, that sort of thing is very stressful. So one of our main objectives is to relieve some of that burden, not just only on the patient, but on the family as well.
Now, tell us about how COVID-19's kind of affected what you're doing.
It's actually made us busy, actually.
Yeah.
We have to follow the CDC guidelines. The hardest part is taking care of patients that are in assisted living facilities, things like that. There's all these extra regulations and mandates that we have to follow. But as far as our patient care, seeing our patients, we have not had any issues with that. We've been able to maintain our high level of care.
Yeah, that's the key, is the patient, making sure the patient's in good shape. And
right.
And when you think about home health care, I think sometimes people don't really fully understand, what services are available to people. What, is that a misnomer that people have, like, they're not really knowing or understanding home health care?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have We do that a lot. A lot of times we'll get patients that just don't really fit for us, but we have the three. That's why we have these three business lines. Maybe you fit somewhere else and you can get better care there, and that's what we want you to do.
Yeah. So when you think about it, you look at different, somebody gets into an auto accident. They don't want to sit in the hospital, but they want to be home. People want to feel more comfortable at home. So that's a perfect example. I believe maybe the palliative care would be an example of that, treating the symptoms.
Right. When you treat the symptoms of that, or again, a lot of our large patient population in the palliative side is, where patients are getting chemotherapy or radiation therapy that, they cause a lot of side effects. And it's very difficult to control those symptoms. So our physicians, nurse practitioners are certified in that particular specialty, and they do a really good job of taking care of those patients.
So now, even though the home health agency, Gulfside Home Health has been a little bit newer line, it looks like you've got some pretty impressive numbers when compared to the national average. Can you share those?
Right. So actually, we're very proud of those. One of the things, our wound healing rates are actually at well over 99%, which is the national average is about 93. I'm really happy about these is our hospitalization rates. If you get out of the hospital, you come to us, you're not going back to the hospital within 30 days. We're at a 0%.
Wow.
Where the national average is almost 13.
What would be an example of that? Somebody coming out and just not taking something as serious and having like a relapse or...
Right. So a lot of the things they'll come out with, maybe they have COPD or something of that nature and having problems breathing. So we're out there enough to make sure that they take their medicines correctly. They're following the appropriate plan of care, diet, giving them techniques to help with their breathing when they do get short of breath, things like that, so that they don't develop pneumonia and go back to the hospital.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So so you got a 30-day rehospitalization rate 0, 60-day kind of jumps up a little bit to 13, but the national average is 18, so you're still 5 points below that.
Correct. And what we found, one of our statistics is our average length of stay is 37 days, where the national average is 54.
So the length of stay is much less.
Much less. So what we found, the good thing about this organization is it starts from the top, and we have the freedom to come up with new ideas and new plans to better serve that patient. And we found that if we, on the front end, if we do more visits initially, they have a higher success rate of staying out of the hospital. And over the long haul, we have a shorter length of stay. They get the same number of visits in that shorter length of stay as they would if they were on a little bit longer. So we just compacted a little bit. They stay out of the hospital, and they get better quicker.
And aren't you going to save some money if you're not in the hospital?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you look at, your daily rate, you got all the different nurses, doctors, different fees, cost of, just basically holding the room. And I think that was a big part, too, with the, the COVID virus is, the hospitalization. We were all nervous about the hospitals being, over capacity or filled to capacity.
Right.
When this thing first rolled out. But I think not many of them actually got to capacity, though, right?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think we had any that I don't remember any going over capacity where they were diverting to anywhere else.
Right. Yeah, so. I think that was the scare in the beginning. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Gulfside Healthcare Services here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Longtime friends of the program here. Gulfside Home Health as well. GulfsideHomeHealth.org is a website as well. And we are talking with Tracy McGraven here. He's an administrator. He's the home health administrator for Gulfside. And yeah, so these are great numbers. These are great numbers that you're seeing, and there's really a difference. So what do you do differently to have those kind of numbers?
Like I said earlier, we get to think outside the box, and we get to look at what our processes are. Like I said, we'll front load our visits so that they're heavy on the front end to make sure that they are taken care of. We do have a lot of resources at our disposal. Just for our wound healing rates, I've got 2 wound care certified nurses and a wound care certified nurse practitioner that work really well with our wound care centers and help facilitate that. Yeah,
taking care of those wounds, especially if they're open. I was watching an old kind of like a Western last night, and it's the old where the guy gets shot, and he says, well, we gotta close that wound, and he puts the knife in the fire and the coals and kind of pushes it on the wound. So that was the only way, I guess, back then to really kind of close them up. just to kind of melt the skin, I guess.
Yeah, just stop all the bleeding, get it soldered off there.
Pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
Shot of whiskey and put a knife on your open wound, but yeah, pretty crazy. So when you look at these numbers, is the rehospitalization rates, the wound healing rates, man, that just speaks volumes about your staff. You must be pretty proud of your staff over there.
Absolutely, and that is probably the key factor in what we do.
Yeah.
We would not be here without those guys. I can't say enough of how grateful and how proud I am of those guys. They deserve all the credit. I mean, I can sit here and tell you what I did, but that if we didn't have them doing their job, going out there every single day, really focusing on that patient and what they need, we wouldn't be successful.
Yeah, it's like a team effort over there. It seems you got the chaplain that can come in and kind of help with the spiritual side, that side of folks, and we've interviewed the chaplain on the show before too.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is you've got the different locations. So people, if they're thinking, hey, how can I help out? Because it is a nonprofit organization. Right. How can I help out? They can make donations to the different stores you have.
Correct. Yes, we have thrift shops in several locations, and we in Lutz, Dade City, Zephyr Hills, Newport Richey, and Hudson.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
Newport Richey, Hudson, awesome. It's great locations. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, more with Tracy, Gulfside Healthcare Services here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. And we also have our feel-good story of the day as well. High school security guard saves choking student with Heimlich maneuver. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Shout out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving. Whether you're planning a local or long-distance move, reach out to Gary Thacker and his team, Brothers Easy Moving. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, every day we tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so you got a high school security guard being hailed as a hero after saving a choking student by performing the Heimlich maneuver. The incident was captured on security cameras at Greece Athena High School in Rochester, New York. It shows security guard Robin Cooper jumping to her feet as the student As the student runs over for help, school security director Steve Chatterton shared a video on Twitter. He told the local media outlets that, hey, we have permission to share the clip, but don't use the boy's name. And it says, quote, "Have you ever sat through a training and wondered why you were there?" Sometimes training, you get a little bit bored, I guess. Training pays off, he says. Huge shout out to my security guard, Robin Cooper, who recognized a student choking and performed the Heimlich maneuver. End quote. Cooper said he doesn't feel like a hero just doing her job. She doesn't feel like a hero just doing her job. And she said that she's been in Athena for 5 years and never had an experience like that happen before. And it was interesting. She said she saw the gentleman choking, face turning red, and she just jumped up on the spot, and that's where the training kicked in. And she was in the right place at the right time. I remember we were on a trip, and I think it was like 7th or 8th grade trip, went up to Washington, D.C. to see all the Capitol buildings and everything. And I remember seeing one of our teachers actually perform a Heimlich on another parent that was on the trip, like a chaperone. And I was like, wow, I was pretty impressed, that it actually works, the old Heimlich maneuver deal. Yeah. Have you ever seen anything, like that? Like a Heimlich maneuver in process or saving a life, something like that?
Actually, yeah. I've actually done kind of did it on myself one.
Did you really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I started choking. My friends thought I was playing around, so
oh wow,
kind of bounced on a chair. And there it goes.
Yeah. I've seen that too. Yeah. Sometimes people will kind of lean up against something and right here under the rib cage.
Yeah. Lifeguard training.
Yeah, exactly. Lifeguard training coming out. Yep. So that's our feel-good story of the day right there on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We love to tell you these positive stories, things happening out there, and it seems like there's so much geopolitical stuff happening, all these different things, negativity in the media. So that's why we're part of our feel-good story of the day, and that's a good one. And all right, we're back here in studio. John Long in the house. Tracy McGraven in the house here, Home Health Administrator, Gulfside Healthcare Services. Tracy's in studio, and when you look at that, there's you think about the different types of care that you offer. That's great. We got the three. Just kind of recap: 3 business lines: hospice, home health, and palliative care. And then also, who would qualify for care from Gulfside Home Health?
If you recently were in the hospital for any reason, obviously, you need help getting back to your strength back, that sort of thing. We offer physical therapy, occupational therapy to assist with that. Surgical, if you had a surgery and you need some help with wound care or something of that nature, we do that as well. There's a wide range of things that we do.
Yeah.
From technical care of doing IV antibiotics to just training and teaching.
Yeah. So I know that was important for me. I just had, 4 months ago, October, so coming closer to 5 now, I had a double bypass heart surgery.
Oh, wow.
So they opened me up, did the whole surgery. And I tell you, that those nurses coming to the house a couple times a week were very helpful. And it was informative too, because sometimes, I had, especially in the leg where they pulled the vein out, they take that vein out and, put it, replace it into the heart, that valve or that, the bypass they do. And that leg was really swollen. And I found it interesting because sometimes you ask someone, they say, because heat would help or would ice be better? And, so the nurses were able to give, good feedback on that. And finally that kind of swelling went down, but it took a long time to go down.
Right, yeah. A lot of times you get out of the hospital and they give you all this information when you leave, and you really can't remember when you get home.
That's
so
exactly
you just
right.
need the reinforcement.
It was so fast, and then you're on pain pills and et cetera, and then of course due to the COVID virus, Chinese COVID virus, whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
The limit was 3 to 8 o'clock, so you had 5 hours where you could have your loved one there with you. My wife would come down, and but between you and her trying to remember everything, and oh, by the way, did you fill this prescription? Did you fill that? Very confusing time. So I could see how Gulfside could really help.
All right, absolutely. We can come in and decipher through all the paperwork and the mess and try to get everything in line so that you can better understand it and are able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and kind of check the weight. I remember, I had lost a lot of weight, and luckily you start gaining that weight back a little bit as your appetite comes back.
Right.
But yeah, the home health care, that's such a big area of just a great service that I think people really need. So how does someone start the process if they're thinking, hey, I'd like to get involved with this. This might be something I could benefit from?
Well, probably the best way they can do is you can go to gulfside.org, and there's a referral link there. Or you can give us a call. The phone number is on the website. Or even just talk to your doctor and just say, I'm having trouble here, I really need some help, and then they can send us a referral.
Oh, okay, so doctor referral in some cases.
Right.
So, and just kind of off script a little bit, vaccines are such a big thing now. People are saying, oh, well, this vaccine was created so fast, I don't know if it's good for me. Should I take it? Then you're hearing some of these stories about side effects, even death from vaccines. Just in general speaking, what is your experience with vaccines?
So during the first round of the vaccines, we received the Moderna vaccine. A lot of our staff and a lot of our home health patients. We've already been through both doses. The majority of the side effects are really mild. I've not experienced anything that was severe, from pain at the injection site, maybe a little dizziness, fatigue, fevers, chills that last 24 to 48 hours. But other than that, that's the main thing. No reactions, no crazy side effects.
Nothing major from what you've seen.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it depends on each person's threshold. Some people are like, oh, I'm definitely not gonna get one. Some people maybe a little bit older say, hey, I guess I'm gonna follow the the CDC or whoever not Dr. Fauci, but whoever's in charge of kind of getting those out, the vaccines out. But
right.
And then the other side too that we saw a lot of times early on with the pandemic was the different the hydroxychloroquine, some of the therapeutics not being as I guess pushed or accepted by the medical community. Right. Any insight on that?
No, I don't have the number. I couldn't really speak to that.
What exactly are therapeutics? Are they just more of a like a therapy? You think of like hydroxychloroquine. You think of more vitamins and things of that nature. Is that
more like symptom control? We treat the symptoms to get them into. Once you treat the symptoms, usually let the virus run its course.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah. And then. So if you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Tracy McRaven here, Home Health Administrator, Gulfside Home Health Care, and Gulfside.org is the website. Final thoughts, anything we may not have covered that you wanted to mention?
No, since the last time we talked, we have actually we have opened our operations into Pinellas County for our home health division. So we now cover all of Pasco County and Pinellas County.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Great area to be. Pasco's growing leaps and bounds. Pinellas is one of the most densely populated counties in the southeast now.
Right.
In the entire southeast United States, Pinellas is very dense, very densely populated.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And it's very interesting how quickly you grow whenever we talked about numbers and all that, but just the care of the staff and the actual. Yeah. What we really try to push is the concern for the patient first. Let's make sure that they're taken care of, and the rest of those numbers just really take care of themselves.
That's right. Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, say hello to Miss Linda Ward for me, and the rest of the team. Always a pleasure speaking with Gulfside on the show, and keep up the good work out there.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. All right, thanks for hanging out with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Consumer Quarterback Show page out there as well. And connect with Gulfside, Gulfside.org, and support them. They are a nonprofit organization here in Tampa Bay. And also earlier in the show, we talked to the United States Institute Against Human Trafficking. So another great organization to support here. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.